Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see about the structure of the brain. It is the very important chapter to know you about the structure of brain. In previous video we have seen already the ventricles and which is surrounded by the cerebrospinal fluid, whole brain and the spinal cord. This is the original brain. Before going to know about the structure of brain, we have to know meninges. Meninges are the layer of tissue that separate the skull and brain. We all know brain was protected from the skull. In between skull and brain, we have dura mater, arachidonic layer and pia mater. This image shows you the how brain is protected from many layers and that layers thickness. First one is skin. We all know the skin behind the hair. Next to the skin is bone, that is a skull. Beneath that dura mater, arachnoid layer and pia mater, and again that we have brain, that is a gray matter. Inside that brain we have many lobes and different parts are there. Out of these parts, cerebrum taking a large portion. Our brain is the right and left hemisphere. Hemisphere in the sense, if we cut one object into two parts, the two contains a same exact content inside that. It is called hemisphere. So here left and right having the same parts at same size, but the difference is their activity. Here the left brain controls a speech comprehension and arithmetics and writing skills. Like that, right brain controls the creativity, spatial ability and artistics and musical skills. Left brain is for your logical thinking and right brain for your creativity. Next one is functional parts of brain. There are mainly three functional regions in the brain: motor area, sensory area and association areas. Today we are only focusing on the structure of cerebrum. Cerebrum having the external structure and internal structure. In external structure, it is the longitudinal fissures and tentorium cerebrally and sulcus gyri or gyrus or corpus callosum. In internal structure, it has a grey matter and white matter itself. Longitudinal fissures and tentorium cerebrally. Here the looking of the separation of two right and left brain. One covering or a line is there. That line is the longitudinal fissure. Separation of cerebellum to the cerebrum is the tentorium cerebrally. Next one is gyrus and sulcus. The superficial region of the brain is called as the cortex. The surface is not smooth. It is convoluted. Each bump on the surface of the cerebrum is called gyrus. It is the ridges or elevations. And each shallow grooves on the surface of the cerebrum is called sulcus. Grooves or depressions. The elevation, the outside elevation is called gyrus and the depression is called sulcus. Here the sulcus is divided into two, central and lateral sulcus. Central in the sense it separates the center brain, and lateral and it is located in the lateral portion, lateral grooves, that is called sulcus, and the blue, yellow, green color indicates the different types of gyrus. These variations are present in the frontal lobe, parietal lobe and temporal lobe. Here the blue color frontal lobe, precentral gyrus, in parietal lobe that is a postcentral gyrus, and the temporal superior temporal gyrus. Here we can see in the detail of sulcus and gyrus. We have two already know: central sulcus grooves separating the frontal and parietal lobes. In lateral sulcus grooves separating the frontal and parietal lobes from the temporal lobes. It is the longitudinal layer. And the main gyruses are precentral gyrus, ridges directly anterior to the central sulcus, located of the primary motor cortex. Next one is postcentral gyrus. It is the ridge directly posterior to central sulcus, location of the primary somatosensory cortex. Last one is superior temporal gyrus. It is the ridge located inferior to lateral sulcus, responsible for the reception and processing of sound. Corpus callosum, this is the area that is responsible for the right half of the brain communicating with the left half of the brain. If the corpus callosum was cut, there would be no communication in between the right and the left halves of the brain. Here the corpus callosum acting as the bridge for the right and left hemispheres. So far we discussed the different parts of the cerebrum itself. Next we can move to the different lobes of the cerebrum. The cerebral cortex is classified into 4 lobes according to the name of the corresponding cranial bone that approximately overlies each part. Based on the cranial bone, it is named as such it is. Here we can see the whole brain, different colors indicating the different types of lobes in the cerebrum. Here the red color front region is called frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the area of the brain responsible for the higher cognitive functions. These includes the personality, emotional control, social behavior, languages and micturations, and motor control, like contralateral motor control functions. In frontal lobes assist in motor and cognitive activities such as the planning, making decisions, setting goals, and relating the present to future thoughts through purposeful behaviors. In this picture, the purple color indicates the parietal lobes. It has a role in language, calculation, spatial orientation, and constructional skills. Parietal lobes also contains a specialized area called Wernicke's area that is responsible for matching written words with the sound of spoken skill. And also parietal lobes assist the processes, spatial interpretations and attention and language comprehension, interprets the language and words, sense of touch and pain, temperature, and interprets the signals from vision, hearing, motor and sensory and memory informations. In this picture, the peach color indicates the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe of the brain is located deep to the occipital bone of the skull. Its primary function is the processing, integration, interpretation, etc. and which mainly includes the vision and visual stimuli. All the visions, whatever we are seeing through eye, it is controlled by the vision through occipital lobes only. It is processing on there. Also, it interprets the vision like a color, light and movement of the vision. Through the occipital lobes only, we can separate the colors and the lights and we can see the movements. Fourth one is temporal lobe. Here it looks like a golden color. It role as the auditory perception, verbal and non-verbal memories and smell, balances and language and melody and pitch perception. From this temporal lobe only we can hear and we can smell. Next one we are going through vasculature. The blood supply to the cerebrum can be simply classified into 3 distinct paired arterial branches, that anterior cerebral arteries, branches of internal carotid artery which is supplying the anteromedial aspects of the cerebrum. Here this yellow, red and blue indicates the different 3 types of the vascular supply. Red color indicates the anterior cerebral arteries. Next one is middle cerebral arteries, which continuation of the internal carotid artery which supplies the most of the lateral portions of the cerebrum. Third one is posterior cerebral, which is blue in color, branches of the basilar artery supplying both the medial and lateral sides of the cerebrum posteriorly. In this picture we can see the supplying route for the arteries. The last part is circle of Willis. It is lies in the interpedunculaire fossa at the base of the brain. It is formed by the anastomosis between the two internal carotid arteries and the two vertebral arteries. The anterior communicating anterior cerebral, internal carotid, and posterior communicating posterior cerebral and basilar arteries all contributes to the circle of Willis. This picture explains the overview of the circle of Willis and other artery. With this, I complete the cerebrum part. And if you have any doubt on the cerebrum part, you can comment me at any time. And today's question was different lobes in the cerebrum and their roles. Finally, thank you for patient listening.